It is 6:05, and I'll call this board meeting to order. Let the record reflect that we have a quorum today. Mr. Patrick Kennedy, Mr. Erasmo Lopez, Coach Cuellar, and myself, Mr. Nieto. Opening prayer, Dr. Canales.
Board of Trustees, our invocation will be led by Central Middle School Language Arts teacher Rachel Anzaldúa. Welcome.
Good evening. Let's go ahead and bow our heads so that we can pray. Heavenly Father, we are gathered here this evening asking you to guide our superintendent and board members in every decision that will be made for our WISD students and employees. We thank you for all the accomplishments and success that our district has received. We ask that you continue to bless and protect each and every single student and employee here at our district. We are grateful to you, Father God, for everything that you have done. We ask for your continuous blessings and protection. All of this we ask in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. Pledge of Allegiance and Texas Pledge, Dr. Canales.
Mr. Robledo, will you please introduce our students from Central Middle School?
Yes, good evening, board. We'd like to welcome up here a couple of students from Central Middle School. How about you come up so we can introduce you and say a few kind words about you? We'd like to start off with Haley Herrera, who is right here, and she's an 8th grader at Central Middle School and is the daughter of Lawrence Herrera and Linda Bailly. Haley is the student council president and a member of the cross-country team. She also attends Rita's dance studio when she's not in school. Haley hopes to attend Brigham Young University and become a forensic scientist. How about a big hand for Haley Herrera? Well, if her parents are here or any family members here, can they please stand and be recognized? Parents? Okay. We also have here Cody De Leon, and he is also an 8th grade student at Central and is the son of Elodia De Leon. Cody's favorite classes are math, computers, and technology. During his spare time, Cody enjoys playing the violin. He hopes to attend Colorado Technical University and become an electrical engineer. How to big hand for Cody De Leon. And if any family members are here, parents, if they're here, can they please stand to be recognized? Will everyone please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? I was about to say national anthem. That's not till Friday. All right. Ready?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Texas Pledge.
On the Texas flag, I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Thank you.
Thank you. Item number 5, awards and recognition. Dr. Canales.
We have several awards and recognitions this evening. Mr. Robledo will be leading us through this part of the agenda.
All right, let me make sure I have everything here. All right, we're going to start off with band, okay? We are going to start off tonight. We have some important band students who are here. How about a big hand as they enter the room? I believe they're coming in here right now. How about a big hand? Members of the Wildcat Regiment. Also members of the Weslaco Panther Corps. We have our drum majors here tonight. Tonight we want to congratulate the Weslaco High School Panther Corps and the Weslaco East High School Wildcat Regiment for receiving a Division I superior rating in this year's UIL Pigskin Marching Contest. Our band students delivered great shows with amazing music and marching skills. The Weslaco High School Panther Corps received straight ones, and representing the Corps tonight are Assistant Drum Majors Lillian Bravo and Natalie Estrada, and we also have Head Drum Major Maricruz Perez. Their band director is Rodrigo Leal. How about a big hand for members of the Weslaco Panther Corps? And we also have here, representing the Wildcat Regiment, assistant drum majors are Michaela Moreno and Adriana Moreno. Head drum major is Adriana Perez. And their band director, one more, their band director is Armando Cuellar. And we do have some plaques that we'd like to present to the band directors, if they can please step forward.
Mr. Leal and Mr. Cuellar.
Okay, Mr. Kennedy over here, or Mr. Leal. All right. Any parents that are here of these students, can they please stand and be recognized? Or family members, please stand and be recognized. Thank you very much and congratulations. You made it.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Good job.
Good job.
Good job. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Next track, we have cross country. I'm going to do cross country.
Okay. Up next, we'd like to congratulate some athletes from Weslaco East and Weslaco High School, 2 athletes who participated in the state cross-country meet just this past weekend. How about a big hand as they enter the room? We would like to congratulate 2 high school runners who just returned from the state cross-country competition. From Weslaco East High School, we have senior Tessie Garcia. She finished the season ranked 2nd in the Rio Grande Valley in girls cross-country. She had 4 individual wins this season and 2 second-place finishes. Tessie is a 3-time cross-country regional qualifier and the first ever individual state qualifier in the school's history at state. And she finished 51st on Saturday at state competition, so congratulations to her and to her head coach, Joshua Davis. Okay. If there are any family members here supporting Tessie, anybody here, can they please stand and be recognized? Also with us here tonight is junior Amity Ebarb, and she is the 2019 31-6A district champion. She was undefeated in the Valley, winning 6 out of 6 meets. Amity won first place at the 2019 Rio Grande Valley Cross Country Meet of Champions and claimed her spot as the best runner in the RGV for the 2019 season. At the 2019 Regional Championship, she finished in 6th place to secure a return to the state meet for the 2nd consecutive year. At state competition on Saturday, she finished in 65th place. Congratulations to Amity Ebarb. We would also like to congratulate her head coach, Pablo Amaguer. Congratulations. If any family members here for Amity, can they please stand and be recognized? I know they're right here front. Thank you, girls. Thank you, girls.
Good job, ladies.
We have one more accolade to recognize. We're waiting for, she's not here yet? She's not here? Okay. So we're going to have to, maybe we can circle back after the proclamations if she arrives. So she's a little bit late, but we should probably move on to the, is that okay?
So is that the last one from
Tell
the?
her. That's going to be the last one of the accolades.
Okay.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Just a couple of things, point of privilege from our board trustee. It's Veterans Day. If we have any veterans in the audience, if you'll please stand up. We thank you for your service, for defending what we understand because of your sacrifice, our way of life. We treasure it, and we hold it dearly, and part of that is an educational process for children. So we salute you, thank you, we honor you.
Thank you again.
Thank you.
Item number 6, proclamation for Parental Involvement Day, November 21st, 2019. Dr. Canales.
We have Mr. Robledo
Okay,
and
we have
Mrs.
a
Garcia back there.
proclamation for Parental Involvement Day.
And
If
Dr. Garcia.
Ms. Garcia and her staff can stand, and anyone
And
else
Dr.
who is here
Garcia,
representing
Sergio.
parental involvement, some parents. All right. Whereas the National Parental Involvement Day will be celebrated at the Weslaco Independent School District November 21st, 2019, and whereas School Board President Isidoro Nieto will be the honorary co-chairperson of the community focusing on Parental Involvement Day, and whereas WISD promotes parental involvement, targeting student success in the public schools at the grassroots level, integrating community awareness in a united effort with representatives throughout the community. Therefore, be it resolved that Isidoro Nieto, Weslaco ISD School Board President, does hereby support and proclaim the day of November 21st, 2019 as Parental Involvement Day. How about a big hand? And Ms. Garcia, if you all can please step forward so we can take a photo, please.
Please step over here at the front. Yes, everybody.
I think they're all here.
Let's go ahead. Well, you want to be in the picture? All of us. Get down there.
I think we'll just sit here. Hello, everybody. Hello, hello.
Our parents too, and staff.
Well, I guess I'll go down there too.
All right, Coach Cuellar. Coach Cuellar. Coach, Cuellar, mando.
Lo está ignorando. Lo está ignorando.
Can you get everybody? All right.
Ready, Coach
Okay, that's it. That's a picture. Thank you. Siéntate.
All right, here we go.
1, 2, 3. One more, and last one. Thank you.
Thank you for everything you do.
I remember that. Con Baxter Hernandez. Thank you. Back to the awards. Is it here?
Yeah, we have to ask.
I didn't know.
Revisit the awards and recognitions. You need to announce it.
Yeah. At this time, we're going to revisit the awards and recognition. Dr. Canales, Carlos.
Okay.
Yeah, give it a second
Guys,
to
they
calm
exit
down.
out.
Oh, wow, is that her picture?
Okay, so we're going to go back now to the awards because we have someone here that we would like to congratulate. If you can step forward, please, young lady. And why don't you turn around and show everybody, first of all, your work of art, which is charcoal, I believe, is what she used to put this together. And then also, you show the board members so you can see how
Let me see it.
nice.
Oh, wow.
Charcoal?
Awesome.
Wow,
That's very nice.
beautiful.
Wow.
It's amazing.
Very, very nice.
It's like a photograph.
What grade are you in? 8th grade. Very good. Very nice.
You have a definite gift.
Yes. Okay, Carlos.
Tonight, we want to congratulate a student who recently competed in the Rio Grande Valley Birding Festival. This contest includes an art category that promotes the wild birds that populate our valley. Students from Cameron, Hidalgo, Starr, and Willacy counties submitted entries, and tonight we are very pleased to announce that Brandy Quiroga of Mary Hogue Middle School won first place and best of show in the 8th grade division. Congratulations. Are you her art teacher? And your name is? We also have Miss Zapata here, who is her art teacher from Mary Hogue. If any family members here, can they please stand and be recognized? Any family members? Very, very nice. Congratulations, very nice.
Congratulations.
Okay. And we can go back to the proclamations because we have a few more.
Okay.
2 more left.
That is awesome.
Item number 7, proclamation for National Family Literacy Month.
Okay. Is
Carlos?
Miss Family Literacy Month, Miss Elma Calvillo. Is she here? You can please stand. Can you please stand, ma'am? All right. So, whereas the need for highly literate citizens increases as Weslaco ISD moves toward an increasingly technological future, and whereas reading aloud to a child at least 15 minutes a day helps brain development, vocabulary, and future success in school and life, and whereas kids who read for at least 20 minutes a day are exposed to 1.8 million words every year, and whereas children who are read to at least 3 times a week by a family member are almost twice as likely to score in the top 25% of reading compared to children who are read to less than 3 times a week. Therefore, be it resolved that Isidoro Nieto, Weslaco ISD School Board President, does hereby support and proclaim the month of November 2019 National Family Literacy Month. Congratulations.
Item number 8, proclamation for National Bullying Prevention Month. Dr. Canales or Carlos?
Mr. Revelado.
Okay, we have another proclamation here for Bullying Prevention Month. Ms. Norma Brewer, can you please stand, Director of Guidance and Counseling? Okay, y'all can applause already, that's fine. Let me read this. She's popular. Whereas bullying is physical, verbal, sexual, or emotional harm or intimidation intentionally directed at a person or group of people, and whereas bullying occurs in neighborhoods, playgrounds, schools, and through technology such as the internet and cell phones, and whereas various researchers have concluded that bullying is the most common form of violence affecting millions of American children and adolescents annually, as thousands of Hidalgo County children and adolescents are affected by bullying annually. Therefore, be it resolved that Isidoro Nieto of Weslaco ISD School Board President does hereby support and proclaim November 2019 as Bullying Prevention Month. Congratulations.
Item number 9, public comments. We have one presenter today. What time is it? Let the record reflect that Dr. Jaime Rodriguez came in at 6:26. Welcome, Dr. Rodriguez. Ana Guevara. Is she here present? Okay.
Good evening.
good
I'm a
evening.
concerned parent.
Hold on.
Yes.
I'm going to have to reach out to you before you present your comments, okay? Let me read a couple of items on the agenda. You to address only matters that concern the school district. The district will not tolerate any disruptive behavior by any member of the audience or the speaker. If you do not abide, you will be directed to cease and leave the meeting. State your name and your address.
My name is Ana Guevara. Address is 2810 East Cielo Drive, Weslaco.
Okay, Mrs. Guevara, you'll have 5 minutes to present your public comments.
Okay. I'm here because I'm a very concerned parent. I'm part of the bullying. My daughter has been getting bullied since 4th grade, and it's gotten to the point to where in restroom stalls, she's seen posts where it says her name should kill herself. And I want to see consequences. I don't want to hear this and this got done, getting slaps on the hand, that students aren't getting they're not doing anything to students. They just tell them this, don't do it again. No, that has to stop. I want to see consequences. I want to see where they're getting their consequences, where they're getting suspended, they're doing something. I want letters to be sent out to parents so the parents could know what's going on. That way they could talk to their children, telling them about bullying. Because it's gone to the point where my daughter, she has already tried to cut herself. I don't want to go home one day to find her just thrown on the floor. So I want to see consequences. I want to be heard. I want my daughter to be heard. I want teachers to be there for them, not to where she goes up to a teacher, hey, can I show this to the principal? And they're like, no, just wait 5 minutes. Then you could go. That has to stop. I mean, administrators just telling my kid, like, we're just going to cover it with paint and that's going to resolve anything. No, it doesn't. It does not cover anything. It's not going to, I mean, yes, it covers, but it does not resolve anything. So I'm a very concerned parent, so I need solution. I need help. I mean, it's gotten to the point where she even came up to me telling me, I need counseling, Mom, because this is just too much. She does not want to go to school anymore, for the reason being that she's getting bullied on a daily basis. Yes, it falls under the David's Law because she's getting through cyber. It's in school, it's at home, it's everywhere. It follows her. I've gone to the point where I already minimized people on her Snapchat, because that's what she has. It's only family members, but texting, that's where she gets texts like, hey, they're saying this about you, they're doing this, they're calling you, so much stuff. So that's it. I mean, I'm just a very concerned parent before it gets to anything else serious.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Yes. Dr. Canales, you'll follow up on that concern?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
We will.
All right. Item number 10, Superintendent's Report. Dr. Canales?
Board of Trustees, we have basically 4 items to report. The first one is our district enrollment. For it to display. Okay, here we go. And average daily attendance comparison, we're comparing the 11th week enrollment last year to this year, and same thing with ADA. So in 2019, our enrollment was at 17,274. 2020 school year, which is this year, it's at 17,206, a difference of 58. This is less than it was last year in terms of the difference. We had a greater difference, over 100 last month when we looked at the weeks that we compared last month's meeting. For ADA, you can see for ADA, we're up from last year by 81. So that's a good thing. We want to be up on ADA. On the next slide, if we look at enrollment by campus type, our elementary schools are down 70 for enrollment, our high schools down 32, and our grand total is down 58. We are up at middle schools, alternative, and the Elf Academy. ADA comparison, our elementaries are 58 below last year at this time. Our middle schools are down 1 for ADAs, and our high schools are down 21. So there you see the 81 ADA difference at the bottom of that slide as well. When it comes to average daily attendance comparisons, for 6 weeks period, We have 2018, 2019 versus 2019 and 20. You can see the difference for the first 6 weeks, a positive 67 for ADA, which is good. 135 positive for the second 6 weeks, and the average daily attendance for the first 2 6 weeks periods is 101 to the positive, so that's a good thing. And then at the very, very bottom, you can see the refined ADA, you can see the Flex SASI program, the extended program. The consequence of not coming to school is you will make up your instructional time. You can see the ADA totals of, for the first and the second 6 weeks there. We do have an update to report for, I don't know if you have any questions about ADA or.
Any comments on ADA?
No questions.
No. Even though we're 58 below, but our attendance, our actual ADA is up a percentage point, which is good on our average daily attendance. Dr. Canales. Okay,
For
continue.
the next one, I'd like to congratulate Mr. Sanchez and our business department. I think we have people from the business department in the audience. Weslaco ISD's preliminary 2018-2019 first rating was exemplary. It was 98 points. Weslaco ISD, we did file an appeal with the Texas Education Agency. It was successful. We are now exemplary with a perfect score of 100. The reason for the appeal was we had some purchases in the summer and early fall of 2018 due to the flood. Remember, we lost several buses. We had to replace them. So that had some effect on one of the indicators that you can explain in a minute. And so when we told the state what had happened, and due to the extenuating circumstances at that time, we're getting ready for the school year, the state accepted the waiver.
Yes,
So congratulations, Mr. Sanchez.
thank you.
Congratulations.
Who do you have here from your team? Who's here from the team? Andres, will you please
All
share who's
business
here with
office,
your
please
team?
stand.
Business office personnel, please stand.
They don't like to take the credit.
Any,
Introduce them.
oh, you want to introduce him? Introduce him.
They don't want to stand up. Hey,
Congratulations, Andres and the staff.
Thank you.
So does it mean, having 100%, does that mean that we have additional monies available for next year? I mean, when it's
No.
100%, that means not only in POs, not only in fund balance, but having the money available for
Yeah.
other things for next
The
year.
first indicator is about managing the finances, not
Exactly.
about having extra funds.
Very good.
But we do try to have extra funds.
Any comments on my left side?
Just great job.
Congratulations.
On my right side?
Congratulations, good job. You and your team.
All right, good job, Andres. Okay.
So for the next report, I'm asking Mr. De La Rosa to come up for this report. It is our self-funded health insurance program, monthly report, and our workers' compensation program report. Mr. De La Rosa.
Good evening, Dr. Canales, Mr. President, members of the board. This is the standard insurance slide that we present to you every month. Through 2 months of data, medical claims last year were at $1.9 million versus this year at $1.6 million. It's a decrease of $317,000 approximately. On the prescription drug coverages, last year we're at just under $700,000 versus this year we're at $539,000. That's a decrease of about $160,000. Fixed costs, we are last year we were at $500,000, $503,000 versus this year at $239,000. That's a difference of $264,000, and I'll kind of get to that in just a second. Grand total for the first 2 months of the year, we're at $2,362,199.23. The reason that you see the discrepancy in the fixed costs is that we have not been billed yet for our September stop-loss premium from Blue Cross and Blue Shield. So that, whenever they decide to bill it to that, you'll see that gap close a little bit. And then there's a breakdown of the admin fees that we're currently paying for Blue Cross and Blue Shield, if anybody has any questions.
Well, so good. That means that we should be up somewhere around $500,000.
More
What
or
I mean
less
is $500,000
below.
under where we were last year.
Correct.
Correct.
Which
More
is
or
a
less.
good thing.
More or less. No, it fluctuates. Some years you're high, some years are low. So it looks like it's the first 2 months of the year. So,
Impressive.
yeah, exactly.
Thank you.
Comments on this side?
Good.
Okay, continue, Mr. De La Rosa.
This is the workers' compensation report that we have. As you know, we're self-funded to this as well. So last year, we had a total of 32 claims for September and October. This year, we had 14. Incurred last year was $94,352.35 versus this year, $47,607.20. So we're doing very well in that program.
Good. Very good.
Comments?
None?
Nope.
Good job.
Thank you, Mr. La
Thank you.
Rosa.
And for the last section of report, I'm asked Mrs. Norma Brewer. It's on Weslaco ISD Bullying Prevention and Awareness Plan. And all of us want our children to be in school environments where they feel known, valued, and inspired. We do know that every now and then, we do have the allegations of bullying. Mrs. Brewer, with her wonderful counselors and our principals, and all of us are working to prevent it and curtail it whenever we can, so she's going to share the plan with you tonight. Thank you, Mrs. Brewer.
Good evening, Mr. Board President, members of the school board, Dr. Canales. I'm here tonight to talk to you about what we're doing as a district to provide awareness and prevention in the area of bullying. Bullying is not something that we take care of only the month of October, the month of November. It's year-round. We address this year-round. It's part of Goal 2 for our Weslaco ISD goals, making sure that our students are in engaging learning environments where they feel safe and secure. So everything revolves around our goals, and bullying falls around Goal 2. Right now, we have a district-wide message to students to be kind or rewind, to be positive, to be kind to others. We're talking to them about character building. Our counselors are in the classroom providing lessons on how to behave and how to respect each other's environment, each other's property, and also how to communicate with each other in a positive way. Texas law states that bullying can occur either on campus or an off-campus school-related activity. A couple of years ago, in 2017, David's Law was passed, and under David's Law, it also includes cyberbullying. It has some requirements, and we are in compliance with those requirements. We need to make sure that our students feel safe. And one thing I can say is that every single bullying concern is fully investigated. Principals act on those concerns immediately. They contact the parents of the alleged perpetrator and the victim. They try to solve the problem and make sure that the children feel safe and in their classrooms. Curriculum and character education as part of the counseling component under guidance curriculum. All of our counselors are in the classrooms providing these types of presentations to students and just showing them how to behave and how to be nice to each other. We're promoting kindness, courage, and respect. Lessons are provided, and these lessons are provided pre-K through 12. Even our high school counselors are visiting classrooms and sharing this information with students. Middle school as well. We also have our social workers. We have social workers at each of our middle schools and our high schools, and they're conducting group sessions where they meet with students weekly with a group of students that are struggling either academically, emotionally, and they help them overcome those obstacles that are affecting them in school or in their home. Communication, students are encouraged to contact a teacher or administrator as soon as they're either victims of bullying or they have concerns. Parents and students can submit reports anonymously. We have a program online, and this is the WISD Anonymous Reporting System. This is on our webpage. If parents want to submit a report or students want to submit a report, they do this online, and as soon as they hit send, an email gets sent immediately to the principals, to the counselor, and under certain circumstances, even central office personnel, so that we can act on it immediately. Okay, so this is David's Law requires that we have an anonymous reporting system, and we've had that for a couple of years now. Response, as I mentioned earlier, we respond to every single concern. Principals act on this immediately. We have district-approved forms where all of this needs to be documented to make sure that that we are investigating, that we're meeting with the students and the parents, that we're maybe referring those students for counseling, referring them for outside support. And also following up with the parents to make sure that the children are behaving, if they're the alleged perpetrators, or following up with the parents of students that are experiencing these types of negative behaviors to make sure that the children are comfortable in their classroom. And as I mentioned earlier, group counseling sessions are taking place, not only with our social workers, but our counselors are also working on that on an individual basis. And as I mentioned, the anti-bullying awareness and prevention plan, this is something that's done throughout the year. We do have a couple of weeks during the year where we focus on certain, behaviors, but it's done throughout the year. We inform the parents, we inform the students about, appropriate behaviors from the students to make sure that everyone feels comfortable and safe. Any questions?
You mentioned that counselors have sessions weekly?
The
Or-
social workers are holding group sessions weekly.
Okay.
The counselors are going into the classroom, but they're also holding individual counseling sessions in their offices, and they're following up.
Mrs. Brewer, and how is that monitored? Are they reporting to you after these sessions? How do we know that it's actually taking place?
The social workers have a calendar that they include their weekly lessons or the weekly group counseling sessions on the calendar, and we go visit the lessons to make sure that they're happening, because what doesn't get monitored sometimes doesn't get done.
Correct.
And the counselors also submit their plans to me so that I can make sure that they're in the classroom. There's 4 components in guidance and counseling. One of them is guidance curriculum. We need to make sure we're in the classroom. Another one's individual counseling, responsive services, and system support. Sometimes we get busy taking care of problems, but we need to take a more proactive approach and being out there and communicating with students so that they can learn that, these behaviors are not permissible.
Mr. Lopez, Coach Cuellar, any questions?
Yeah, I mean, and like you say, you do take every situation that's brought to your attention seriously, and there's a
Yes, sir.
protocol that you follow
Yes, sir.
to ensure that the safety of that person being bullied
Yes, sir.
will be addressed.
It's addressed, immediately addressed by principals. If the students need counseling outside, we refer out or we use our personnel to provide the counseling. But every single bullying situation gets investigated and addressed. Yes, sir. And that's thanks to our principals.
All right.
I just want to add, Ms. Brewer and Dr. Canales, if there's anything that this board has to do to make sure that we can, if there's a program that you all need or anything, make sure that it comes before us so that we can act on it and act on it promptly. This is very, very serious matter. And, our kids are just, with the media and all the stuff that's out there, they're just, we need to, take control
Right.
and keep it.
Yes, sir. We have invested in the Leader in Me program at the elementaries and middle schools, and that's a leadership program that helps students build those leadership skills. That's helped, but we have it in elementary and middle, and we've purchased curriculum, second step curriculum for our counselors and curriculum for our social workers to conduct these sessions. But if there's anything else, we would appreciate
Please
the
do.
assistance. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr.
All
Brewer.
right, thank you.
All right, item number 11, consent agenda. Let me start on the left. Any items you need to
No,
visit, Mr. Kennedy? Dr. Jaime?
I haven't.
Mr. Lopez?
No, I just want to say that there's a lot of items being donated, so we need to make sure that Dr.
Correct.
Canales
Write the
sends out.
letter. Yes, sir.
Okay. Coach Cuellar?
Thank you, sir.
No, we're fine.
Yes, I would like to clarification, if we may, pull K just for clarification.
Okay, item K will be pulled for clarification. Do you have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
I move to approve the consent agenda with the exception of item K.
Second.
And a second, I have a motion by Mr. Patrick Kennedy, a second by Dr. Jaime to approve the consent agenda except for item letter K. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Dr. Canales, item K.
Okay, for item K, it says the budgetary information, it says ADA revenue will cover the cost. It says of new personnel. It's not new personnel, it's a current personnel member. So that's the clarification piece.
I move to approve item K on the consent agenda.
Second.
We have a motion by Mr. Kennedy and a second by Dr. Jaime to approve item K. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Let's approve of budget amendments, okay. Item 12, discussion items. Item A, interim financial reports for the 2 months ended October 31st, 2019. Dr. Canales?
Mr. Andres Sanchez will lead us through this item. Mr. Sanchez.
Yes, Dr. Canales, Mr. Nieto, members of the board. For the 2 months ended October 31, 2019, in the general fund, from a total budget of $183,844,750, we have received $31,333,342, which represents 17.04%. And on the expenditure side, of the total budgeted $186,262, we have expended or encumbered $27,126,071. That represents 14.58%. Right now, it's early in the year, so everything looks good. All the functions are well. Do you have any questions?
Any particular funds that need additional money right now? No?
No.
We're okay right now, right?
It's too early.
Okay.
The amount of money we received is on par with where we're supposed to be?
Yes, sir. Yes. Yeah, on the federal funds, the one sometimes takes a little longer because we don't receive it till the next month.
Okay,
But everything else is yes.
that's good to know.
Any other comments, questions? So no action item, correct? Dr.
No
Canales?
action. Yes, correct, sir. No
All right.
action.
Item B, acknowledgement of Hidalgo County Tax Office Collection Report
Yeah.
for October 2019,
Yes.
current taxes and delinquent taxes.
On the agenda item I gave you, on tax adjustments, if you look at the third page, that has the report on tax collections. The one I gave you with the paperclip, the one on the top. The agenda item is called tax adjustments.
The one
Is
you
it
just
this
gave
one?
us?
The one, this one.
Okay.
This one?
This one.
Okay.
For through October 31, 2019, on current taxes from the current levy, we have collected $449,205. That represents 1.77% of the levy. Last year, for the same month, we collected only 0.62%. So we collected 1.15% more than last year.
That's good.
On the delinquent taxes, we collected $185,725. That represents 4.61% of the delinquent levy. Last year, for the same month, we had collected 4.65%. So that is 0.04% lower than last year for the same month. So far, the collections are in line also through October 31.
It's a no action item, correct?
No.
Right.
Thank you.
Any questions?
No.
Gentlemen?
None.
All right. Item 13, discussion and possible action items. Item A, discussion and possible action to approve resolution casting votes for nominee to serve on the Hidalgo County Appraisal District Board of Director for 2020-2021. Dr. Canales?
Board of Trustees, this is an item, and we're recommending that you cast your votes, 155 for one or more of the 15 candidates nominated to serve in the Hidalgo County Appraisal District Board of Directors for a 2-year term beginning January 2020. Last year, we did have, I don't have that, do you have that piece of paper with us?
Oh, yes. Oh, we'll give it
So
to you.
last month, we did, you did look at the votes and had decided last month to designate 78 for David Hernandez and 77 to Joe Olivares. So this is the resolution for that. You can continue that, or you can change it if you'd like to change the way you cast. But this is a resolution for what you did last month. Oh, it's a resolution for what you did last month. Again, it was 78 for David Hernandez and 77 for Joe Olivares.
When we voted on that, I believe we had a full board or more of the board members were here.
Correct.
So I'll make a motion to continue with that, that decision that was made in the past and go with the 77 and 78 for, as you mentioned, Doctor.
I'll second that.
So we have a motion by Mr. Lopez and a second by Coach Cuellar to approve the resolution to casting the votes for nominees to serve on the Hidalgo County Appraisal District Board. 78 votes for David Hernandez and 77 for Mr. Joe Olivares, correct?
Correct.
Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Item B, discussion possible action for the board to consider ratification of the administration's approval of allowance expenditure request number 2 for the fire and security alarm system at Weslaco High School and the fire alarm system at the Weslaco ISD Administration Complex, project CSP 180217, to replace the smoke detector sensors in the restrooms at Weslaco High School. Dr. Canales.
Board of Trustees, we are recommending that you consider to ratify the administration's approval of allowance expenditure request number 2. The total cost is $8,458.44. The reason for it is we were having problems at Weslaco High School, and Weslaco High School staff has requested to have these sensors replaced due to frequent alarms. I know that I've sent you several messages that we're evacuating due to the alarms going off. This new update will have sensors replaced due to the frequent alarms disrupting class instruction and school activities. The Weslaco High School staff has reported that the sensors are triggering the fire alarms upon detection of chemicals from cleaners and things like hairspray. The smoke sensors are being replaced with a detector able to detect multiple fire-related events such as heat, smoke, and particle from smoldering-type fires with little smoke or no flames. The sensors will be triggered when we do this replacement upon the detection of 2 of these events. So instead of just one, hairspray will take 2 of the events mentioned to trigger it sounding. So we're recommending ratification of this $8,458.
The current
Dollar
system, the current system will set it off with one event?
Yes, yes, sir.
Yeah, and we've experienced quite a bit of fire alarms.
Yeah, we need to move and address this so that we can stop the disruption of instruction. So
Yes, sir.
I move that we approve this ratification.
I'll second that.
We have a motion by Mr. Coach Cuellar and a second by Mr. Lopez to ratify the administration's approval of allowance expenditure request number 2 for the fire and security alarm system at Weslaco High School and the fire alarm system at Weslaco ISD Administrative Complex. Any discussion?
What is the system at East? Do we need to do both of them at the same time?
Well, the system at East is still the old fire alarm system. We haven't done anything over there to upgrade. The building is sprinkle building. So, yeah, so we have a different system at the time. It's not voice evac. So there is a code in place right now, but our buildings have been grandfathered in as it is right now.
Yeah.
So there's no issue, only at high school?
Correct.
And there's not going to be next month an issue at East, so we have to bring this back?
Correct.
Okay.
But it's not anything inferior that we compromise safety.
No, absolutely not. The fire marshal would not
Okay.
allow it.
Yeah, we'll never
The fire marshal
compromise
will allow
safety.
it, right.
What's the time frame on these get installed?
Um,
The new ones?
They're
Well,
installing as we speak.
They're getting installed as we
yeah.
speak?
They're working on it already.
Okay.
And the funds are coming from the contingency allowance for the project.
All right.
Thank you.
So we have a motion by Coach Cuellar and a second by Mr. Lopez. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Item C, discussion and possible action for the board to consider approval for the chemical storage building for the Aquatic Center, CSP number 180420, as follows. Number 1, an allowance expenditure for additional work needed. Number 2, final completion of the project, including rain delays and delay days. And number 3, a deductive change order for the unspent balance of the owner's contingency. Dr. Canales.
Okay, Board of Trustees, on April the 10th, 2018, you approved Mata G Construction, Inc. for the construction of this project for the amount of $175,046. The scope consisted of the construction of a chemical storage building for the Aquatic Center. The project was completed 15 days after the extended substantial completion date. And after board approval, we will proceed to pay the project's final payment. So liquidated damages, the contract with Mata G Construction, Inc. for this project included liquidate damages in the amount of $300 per day for each additional calendar day beyond the agreed substantial completion date. The amount of days late by the contractor after accepted days requested is 15 days. That is liquidated damages is $4,500. Additionally, for the allowance expenditure authorization number 1, deductive change order number 1, including the additional days, this was for additional scope of concrete trench and a dedication plaque. Most of the amount, $3,688.80, was for the concrete trench that was needed. The contingency, the project unused contingency balance is credited back to Weslaco ISD. That's a credit of $1,611.20. Rain days, 35 days for bad weather accepted, 43 were requested. Delayed days, 177 days for louver delivery and unforeseen ground conditions accepted out of 192 that were requested. The liquidated damages to be assessed, project was finished 15 days after the extended substantial completion date, so 15 times 300 is $4,500. This came in under budget. The total cost is $168,934.80. And so the amount due to the contractor after considering the payments to date is $79,803.75. So this is about, all in all, about a $6,100 savings
Yep, yes, ma'am.
for the project. So we're
Gonna be
recommend.
A kind of a complex motion, but I'll take my best stab at it. So I'm going to move to approve the allowance for the expenditure for the additional work needed, which I believe is the $3,688.80. I'm going to move to approve that the final completion of the project, including the rain days and the unforeseen work that was needed, and of the corresponding change order. And I'm going to move to approve the deductive change order for the unspent owner's contingency fees and the liquidated damages.
I'll second.
So
Okay.
we have a motion by Mr. Patrick Kennedy and a second by Coach Cuellar to approve an allowance expenditure for additional work needed, final completion of the project, including rain delay days and delayed days, a deductive order change order for the unspent balance of the owner's contingency. Any other discussion?
Yes, I just want to make sure that, again, I think on the last project we accepted, I talked about liquidated damages. The contractor, it's a small project, and we're hitting him in his pocket for $4,500. Is he aware?
Yes, sir.
The
You know,
change order is signed.
And I see where you didn't allow all the days, delayed days that he wanted. And that would have made that, him, we're coming in under budget, as Dr. Canales just stated.
Correct.
And I believe that when we got this project going, that y'all had stated that we had gotten a good price. And I just don't want to hurt a small contractor. And but he did a good job for us. If he did he do a good job?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Okay.
So,
Any other-
if you all have already discussed it with him and talked about it, then I'm fine with it.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, he signed it, he agreed.
Any other discussion? Okay, so we have a motion by Mr. Kennedy, a second by Coach Cuellar. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Item D, discussion and possible action for the board to consider approval of a procurement method of construction for the LED lighting district-wide project. Number 1, board determination of procurement method of construction that will provide the best value to the district for the project. 2, board determination to retain the authority to rank the proposals to be received for this project, or board delegation of their authority to the administration to rank the proposals to be received. And 3, Approval of criteria and points to be used for ranking the proposals. Dr. Canales.
Board of Trustees, this was a topic of discussion at both the Long Range Facilities Planning Committee and the District Facilities Planning Committee that met last week. It's been on the agenda several times at the meetings. We are recommending, staff is here before me, that the board approves procurement method of construction as a method that would provide the best value to the district for LED lighting district-wide project. We're recommending, staff is recommending the design-build method of construction. This is a two-step process. The first process is a request for qualifications, followed by a request for proposals. Number two, that the board makes a determination to retain their authority to rank the proposals to be received for this project, or delegates their authority to administration to rank the proposals to be received, and that the board approves the criterion points to be used for ranking the proposals. So staff is here to talk a little bit about what LED lighting is and the benefits of LED lighting as we understand it today.
Go ahead, Mr. Rojas.
Okay. Well, good afternoon, Mr. President, Dr. Canales, members of the board. As Dr. Canales mentioned, there's a lot of new and innovative and trend on LED lighting. This topic was a topic that was heavily discussed during the Long Range Facility Master Plan. Both community, staff, and students talked a lot about LED lighting, natural lighting, and just means of improving the lighting in our schools. A lot of our schools are built where there's very little lighting available to them, natural lighting. And so we know that the LED lighting is more less energy consumption, less work involved in wear and tear or in having to replace, so less work involved from the district. So there's savings that we feel that are there that are beneficial to the district on top of just the improving the learning experience for our students. And so therefore, we feel that it might be something that we need to look at very closely. Americo, did I miss anything?
You got everything, Coach.
We've looked at this before, right? You know,
Yes, sir.
and
Yes, sir.
with the savings of the LED lighting.
Mhm. Yes, sir.
uh,
Yes, sir, we have. And if on the savings part, I know we've discussed this numerous times, staff and I'll let our medical chime in as needed. Basically, what happens is they come in, or the company that's selected will come in and they will change the hardware, change their bulbs into LED bulbs, no more ballasts, a lot less time involving from staff to address issues with lighting. The warranty on the LEDs, well, it varies between 5 to 20 years. We don't know how long an LED light will last, but we do know that there is some savings there just in energy usage is number one.
And you mentioned that was one of the priorities on the facilities.
It was priority number 3, sir.
Okay.
As it did rank as a top 3 priorities.
Okay.
And it was priority number 3 on the Long Range Facility Master Plan. Yes, sir.
And we have the funds, Andres, available?
We don't have funds available. One of the things that we need to do, Mr. Nieto, is when we request for qualifications primero to get companies as part of step 1, we will limit it to up to 5, bring it to the board for approval, and then on those 5 companies or less, if that's all we have, we would prepare a request for proposals to them with detailed information of what we want, how we want the project presented, cost, distribution by schools or whatever, and we're going to request that they provide the financing for the project, so we can get a maintenance tax note on it. Like we did prior project before related, like that.
I need to add something here.
Go ahead.
Okay, we've been talking about this for, what, about 2 years now?
I think it was longer. I think when
Maybe
I got
longer.
here, you were still
Maybe a little
talking
bit
about
longer.
it.
And along that time that we've been talking, the word buy board has come around. And I know, and correct me if I'm wrong, Andres, you all have received pricing on this already?
Well, we got a quote from a vendor, yes.
Okay, and through buy board. Is that
Yeah.
correct? Okay, so there's a pricing, there's a quote out there already that the district has received. And Mr. Perez, I'm not sure whether, how to proceed with this, because in the past, we've made it very clear that we're trying to get competitive pricing, but yet there's a bid out there already through buy board. And that's not fair to the vendors that are coming forward. I don't know why this is being brought forward again to be put back out for bids when you already have a bid. And I think we should table this item to think it through clearly, because I don't want to get in any kind of trouble.
Well, we have only one price.
Exactly.
We haven't gotten quotes from 3 companies, so we didn't fair to other companies to just go with 1 for 1.
And has that price gotten out anywhere?
I don't know. Well, it got enough, I don't know. I know it's being presented here. Who listened to it, I have no idea. But what we're doing right now, going for qualifications and to select companies, and then the one that get selected, they have to go do some work, go through the schools, all the buildings, evaluate what we have, the needs, the number of facility fixtures that have to be replaced. They have to spend some time on it. So everybody have a chance to do that. And then after that, they provide the cost is going to cost us the warranties, the price, and the companies will provide their fees. And we'll evaluate them at that time.
I'll ask Mr. Perez for some direction on this.
Yeah, so I did talk to the administration last week, and so when you have a public works project, and this is considered a public works project, you cannot go to the buy board for construction purposes unless you get a written certification from an engineer or an architect to indicate that the project, 1, does not need plans and specifications, or 2, that plans and specifications have already been produced. So there needs to be something from an engineer and architect to be able to make that representation that the construction element is satisfied in order to be able to purchase off the buy board. If not, if we don't have that, and we don't have that here, then the design method is an appropriate methodology.
Yeah. Well, and I don't know what you have, but I just know that through the 2 years that we've been working on this, that there has been a number put out there by a contractor that's in our audience right now. And I just don't want to get this board in any kind of trouble, because we've got a price already. And if we're going to go, if there is the drawings or whatever you said, Ivan, then they've already done some work.
Yeah, I don't see any problems. I haven't heard anything from the administration that would give me any concern.
We don't have the drawings, so we don't have anything.
Okay.
So, Mr. Lopez, what do you want to do?
My opinion is I'd like to table this item. And, we've waited for 2 years on this, and I just want to make sure that we're on the right track here.
Okay, we have a motion from Mr. Lopez to table this item. Do I have a second?
Yeah. I'll second that.
We have a motion by Mr. Lopez and a second by Coach Cuellar to table this item. Any other discussion?
So, Ivan, and so in your opinion, we pretty much, if we're going to proceed with this project, this is going to be the only way to go about doing it?
Well, this is one way. There are different competitive processes, but in terms of if you want us to look further at just being able to go to the buy board, which is, a recognized methodology for complying with the procurement process, we can do it. I've already looked at it, and, we can look at it some more if the board wants us to.
From what you've looked at it already, does it appear that this is going to be the way we need to go to proceed?
We need somebody with a seal, either architect or engineer, to verify it for us. They'll put their name and seal on the line saying that, 1, it doesn't need plans and specs, or 2, that they've already been provided.
My only concern is, I'd like to, proceed. We've waited, like you said.
Yep.
With this project for a while, and.
So we can, if we decide to table it, then we can bring it at the next board meeting. With the clarification, and then go forward. Because like Mr. Lopez said, we've been in the process for about 2 years, correct?
Yeah.
One of the things I'd like to see if it comes back
Okay.
is the type of financing interest rates that we can expect to, I understand we don't have anything definite right now, but what I'd like to see, I guess, is a price comparison of the type of savings we can incur by switching to LED versus the amount of interest we're going to pay on the note that is being proposed by the administration. In other words, are we actually going to save money in the long run, or are we going to end up saving money just to pay it in interest on the note? That's something I'd like to see before I make a fiscal decision on the project.
And I think in one of the presentations, that information was provided.
Oh,
I mean,
it was?
You might have been out, but that's okay. That's a good point. I think that's a good point. Yeah. All right, so we have a motion to table this item by Mr. Lopez and a second by Coach Cuellar. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. All right. Item E. Discussion and possible action for the board to consider approval of a procurement method of construction for the roofing replacement projects at Memorial Elementary School, North Bridge Elementary School, and the Weslaco High School Transition Center. Dr. Canales.
Board of Trustees, the roofing needs throughout the district are being addressed with recent completions of roof replacements for Airport Elementary, Guayada Middle School Gym and Band Hall, B. Garza Gym and Band Hall area, and the Weslaco High School Old Band Hall. The roofs presented on this agenda items are next in terms of priorities on the list. Roofing is very expensive. We share with our parents that to completely replace an elementary roof is about $1.3 million. Our buildings, our facilities are like mega mansions, and just like homes, things wear and tear, and we've got to take care of them before we have even more damage. So, meeting with the team, talking about this at the Facilities Committee meeting, we are recommending that the board approve a method of am I on the roofing? Yes. That the board approve a method of procurement as the construction method that will provide the best value to the district for a roofing replacement project at Memorial Elementary School, Northbridge Elementary School, and the Transition Center at Weslaco High School. The administration were recommending a competitive sealed proposal method of construction, and that the board make the determination of who will rank the proposals, and that the board approve the criteria and points to be used to rank the proposals.
I had a question about the proposed funding for the project. So I see we're proposed for it to come out of our own budget. Is that going to come out of a multi-year budget or one budget in particular?
No, right now we have funds available in the local maintenance fund balance assigned for facilities sort of needs that we discussed with the board before. We had funding for these two projects available there.
Okay. And that we can safely afford to take that hit without?
Yes, sir. Yes, we can.
Okay.
How many more if we can take this?
What we're looking now is the actual construction of the roofs. Is that correct?
Correct.
Yes, yes.
So, what do we want to do?
Well, I'll move to approve that we use competitive sealed proposals
Okay.
and delegate the board's authority to rank to administration and approval of the proposed criteria on the award.
Second that.
All right. We have a motion by Mr. Kennedy, a second by Mr. Lopez. For the board to consider approval of a procurement method of construction for the roofing replacement at Memorial Elementary, North Bridge, and the Weslaco High School Transition Center. You said competitive seal proposal?
Yes.
Ranked by the administration? And approve the criterion points to use for ranking the proposals?
Yes.
All right. Any other discussion? No? All right. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Item F, discussion and possible action for the board to consider approval of a procurement method of construction for the bus drive and teacher parking lot repaving project at Weslaco High School. Number one, board determination of procurement method of construction that will provide the best value to the district for the project. Number two, board determination to retain the authority to rank the proposals to be received for this project, or for the board to delegate their authority to the administration to rank the proposals to be received. And number three, approval of criteria and points to be used for ranking the proposals. Dr. Canales.
Board of Trustees, this is another priority one, like the last one, projects that has been identified. The concrete bus drive for Weslaco High School located on the teacher parking lot is in poor condition and in need of replacement. Concrete damage is present throughout the bus drive with the wire mesh, the rebar already exposed in some spots. The parking lot is in very poor condition and requiring replacement as well. It is recommended that the asphalt parking lot be addressed simultaneously with a concrete bus drive. This project was presented to the Superintendent's Facility Committee, and the committee approved the priority to proceed with the project, so we're coming to you. So we are recommending that you approve a procurement method of construction as a method that would best fit that would provide the best value to the district for the bus drive and teacher parking lot paving project at Weslaco High School. We're recommending competitive seal proposal method of construction. That you, the board, make the determination to retain your authority to rank the proposals to be received for this project or delegate that authority to administration to rank the proposals. And that you approve the criteria and points to be used in ranking the proposals. Do you have staff here to answer any questions you may have? We're anticipating this project costing about $668,000.
$668,000.
And the funds that we have available in the,
Fund balance for facilities.
for facilities, okay?
When would this be done?
If it passes, let's see, November 11th, we want,
This is scheduled at the bottom of the first page.
That's the whole parking lot or just a drive?
Drive and parking lot.
Both. The whole parking lot?
Whole parking lot.
estimated substantial completion of project, August 15th, 2020.
And the funds
Over
will
the
come
summer.
out of the
So over the summer.
2019-2020
Summer
budget?
project, yes, sir.
No, sorry, they are not in the budget, but they are available in the fund balance for facilities. We have some money assigned for facility projects or other
Okay.
needs, so we can get it from there.
I guess my question is that from leftover from a few, like past
From
years?
prior
budget?
years, yes, sir. prior
Okay,
years.
it's just sitting there unused?
Yes. Mhm.
Okay, that sounds fine.
You haven't hired an architect on this yet, have you?
No,
Or
no,
an
we
engineer?
haven't, no. We
That's
haven't
coming
again that in next,
We're looking at the
make a
civil
recommendation.
It's coming up on the, one of the,
Who's giving you the substantial completion, or is that just you guys doing that?
No, we're looking,
Substantial completion.
we got information or assistance through civil engineer Mariano Garcia.
Okay. Okay.
I'll make a motion for administration's recommendation for competitive sealed proposals. And also for administration to rank the proposals and approve the criteria proposed.
Second.
we have a motion by Dr. Jaime and a second by Mr. Kennedy to go through competitive seal proposals for the administration to rank, and also the administration to approve the criterion points to be used for ranking the proposals, correct? Any other discussion? All right, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Item G, discussion and possible action for the board to consider approval to hire a civil engineering firm to draw the plans and specifications, as well as to oversee the construction of the bus drive and teacher parking lot repaving project at Weslaco High School. Dr. Canales.
Board of Trustees, this applies to the Weslaco High School concrete and asphalt replacement project. The team has worked with M. Garcia Engineering directly on several civil engineering projects, including Silva and Gonzalez Elementary parking lot additions and the sidewalk drainage improvements at Weslaco High School. Indirectly, M. Garcia has done the civil engineering work for the Weslaco High School new football field house, the Weslaco East new band hall, and the athletic renovations and other projects. The team has had very positive experience in working with M. Garcia Engineering and do not have any concerns with the services provided by them. So we are recommending, Board, that you consider to approve hiring of M. Garcia Engineering LLC to design the plans and specs and oversee the construction of the replacement of the bus drive and teacher parking lot repaving project at Weslaco High School. Fee for M. Garcia Engineering LLC is approximately $63,644, depending on the price of the project.
That's 10%?
8%, plus survey fee.
Oh, there's a fixed survey fee of $12,728.
And what's the total amount for the project, Mr. Andres?
$668,000.
700,000.
758,000?
No.
No, 700,000. Rounded to 700,000.
Oh, okay,
668.
okay.
Is 8% pretty typical?
An engineer fee, 8, architect 6.
So are we hiring him to do the complete project?
Yes, sir.
Huh?
The plan specs and oversee the construction of it.
But
And then
actual,
go out for proposals for somebody to build it.
so we don't know whether that 636 is actual?
No, it's not, that's his estimate.
That's an
Yes,
estimate.
his estimate, correct.
So the total shouldn't be above 636, correct?
We're hoping it's six
All right,
thirty-six.
so we're using that number as a base to establish our budget.
All right,
I'll move to approve.
all right, so we have a motion by Dr. Jaime. Do we have a second?
Second.
But that,
We have a second by
You okay
Mr.
with
Kennedy
it? Okay.
to approve Mario M. Garcia Engineering Firm to draw the plans and specifications as well as oversee the construction of the bus drive and teacher parking lot repaving project at Weslaco High School. Any discussion?
Yeah, on this one, we're only going with one price.
Pardon?
On this one, we're going with one price only?
No, we're going with we're using that as a guide. This is not the contract.
No, but I'm
the
talking about
construction.
the engineer. I know the engineers.
Engineer, yes, yes.
We're gonna hire him.
And we've done it before with architect. We select one architect and that's it. So professional services, you can
Have
do
we
that.
ever had any issues with that? Engineer?
Not problems from the engineer, no. Yeah.
Have we ever had
Paving
any
projects we
issues?
had, yes.
Huh?
We have had paving projects with the contractors.
But the engineer, y'all said he did Silva.
Mr. Lopez, I did ask Mr. Garza that question earlier today to make sure, and he commented that he has never had any issues with this.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Really?
Yes.
Medico, you wanna add to that?
Yes, sir. Yeah, there were some changes at Silva relaying of the parking lot, but other than that, they were addressed.
Yeah, the lanes were too narrow.
The contractor also, the dimensions of the parking lot were not done to the plans and specs as well. So it was a combination of having to relay out the lanes and the parking stalls.
Okay.
So was that the fault of the engineer or the contractor?
Well, it was an adjustment that the engineer had to do because of that, because of the dimensions of the parking lot.
Okay.
Okay, well, it's gonna be on you guys if anything goes wrong.
Make sure you,
My question is, you will have input into that thing?
Yes, sir, absolutely,
You'll be the watchdogs?
absolutely, yes, sir.
all right. We have a motion by Dr. Jaime and a second by Mr. Kennedy to select M. Garcia Engineering Firm. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
Aye.
Mr. Lopez. Motion carries. Item H, discussion and possible action for the board to consider approval of a procurement method of construction for the Bobby Leckie Stadium Visitor Parking Lot paving project. Number one, board determination of procurement method of construction that will provide the best value to the district of the project. Board determination to retain the authority to rank the proposals to be received for this project, or board delegation of their authority to the administration to rank the proposals to be received. And three, approval of criteria and points to be used for ranking the proposals. Dr. Canales.
Board of Trustees, the need for a parking lot on the east or visitor side of Bobby Leckie Stadium, well, there is that need. The large fan base and the increase in the use of facilities for Weslaco ISD events, as well as the external events through the rental of the facility, have contributed to the demand. The parking lot is not only needed for additional parking, but also to adequately comply with ADA requirements. Additionally, the construction of the new football field house at Weslaco High School eliminated approximately 21 parking spots, which the city of Weslaco is requiring to be replaced. The city of Weslaco will allow the missing parking stalls to be covered with a new parking lot at the stadium. The project was presented to the Superintendent's Facility Committee. The committee approved the priority to proceed with this project. It was also part of the long range as a
Yes, ma'am.
priority one,
Yes, ma'am.
as a top priority.
Correct.
So we are recommending, Board of Trustees, that you approve a procurement method of construction as a method that would provide the best value to the district for the Bobby Leckie Stadium Visitor Parking Lot paving project. Administration's recommending competitive sealed proposals method of construction. Board, that you make the determination to retain your authority to rank the proposals, or that you delegate the authority to administration, and that the board approves the criteria and points to be used for ranking the proposals. So this project, we're expecting to range from where, from what amount for this project? Even though we're
Cost?
going out.
Construction cost.
Competitive sealed
$560,000.
proposals to see what we get.
Where is this site exactly?
Sir?
Right next to it.
Coach, the visitor site, Coach.
Visitor parking area.
The
Visitor.
visitors use the high school parking area. When they come to-
We use, yes, sir, you're correct. When we overflow, our buses, visitor buses will park on the visitor side. VIP handicap is in that area.
Correct.
And then everybody else flows over to Wesco High School parking. Yes, sir.
So how much area is going to be used
We-
for parking?
Quite a bit, sir. We're looking at fitting approximately about 128 parking spaces right now on the visitor side. So we're coming as close east as we can without infringing into the practice fields, and then going as, butting up to the perimeter fence where the ticket booths are.
Now, will the issue of flooding and stuff like that
Yes,
be addressed? Because a lot of times when it rains,
Right.
you are restricted to where you can park.
Yes, sir. So
And now it creates a little bit of a problem, so
Yeah.
all those things are going to be addressed?
Yes, sir. As a matter of fact, in this proposal, there is underground drainage that'll, I think the water flow will go south towards the softball field.
To Panther
and-
Drive.
Right, towards Panther Drive. Yes, sir.
And if I may add, Mr. Cuellar, Coach Cuellar, underneath the bleachers, we had some problems on the visitor side with flooding as well. And under this project, we would take care of that too. We would address that.
Okay.
And again, that additional funds comes from the fund balance for facilities.
Get the question out of my mouth.
I know, Mr. Kennedy.
I'd like to make a motion to table this item also. I know that I was in a meeting, was it last week? And there's a piece of property that there's some issues there at the corner that I think we need to resolve so that this parking lot can get a little bit bigger. And I think we were all in that same discussion there. And if not, we're just gonna lose out or try to get somebody to come back and fill in that little corner, and it's just gonna make things a little bit messier. So,
If I
If-
may add.
Go ahead.
Mr. Lopez, so we did go back after that meeting to the engineer who's assisting us with this, and we did ask him to propose that as an alternate, should that come into fruition as far as us acquiring that property. And so the estimated budget cost here reflects that, using that property as well, as an alternate.
okay.
So you have two proposals there. The first
No, it's in there already, huh?
It's in there
It's already part of it.
Yeah,
Okay.
so that number that we have includes that and an option to expand
To
further south
expand
as
further
well.
south. Remember, we talked about maybe expanding further south.
Correct.
I would have to relocate the shot put area.
Right.
But I
yes.
think we have space for that. So we can expand a little further south, might be able to get some more parking spaces.
Are we going to alter the practice area for all our athletic activities?
No, sir,
Because you have a little obstacle course
Oh, for the.
on the north end there.
JROTC
None of
used
that's
it.
going to be affected.
JROTC used
No,
it.
sir. No, sir, that's further east, northeast of
Yes.
where we're.
So
where we're
most of
working.
it is going to be the current area.
Yes, it's current
parking.
area,
The
yes, sir.
Caliche.
Okay.
Correct.
So do you have a motion there?
I'll pull my motion back.
Okay. So you want to?
Because, if you guys have it covered,
You had it covered, and I'll
And-
move that we accept this proposal.
Competitive field and administration to rank, and the criteria and points to be by administration also, Coach Cuellar? Is that your motion?
Yes.
Okay. So I have a motion by,
Second.
second by Mr. Kennedy, to go competitive seal proposals, administration to rank, and of course, approval of criteria and points to be used for ranking the proposals by administration. Any other discussion? All right, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
aye.
Two again, all right, Mr. Lopez, motion carries.
A little better.
Item I, discussion of possible action for the board to consider approval to hire a civil engineer firm to draw the plans and specifications,
Same.
as well as oversee the construction of the Bobby Leckie Stadium Visitor Parking Lot Project. Dr. Canales.
Board of Trustees, administration is recommending that you consider approval to hire M. Garcia Engineering LLC to design the plans and specs and oversee the construction of the Bobby Lackey Stadium Visit and Parking Lot paving project. The engineer's estimated fee for this is $46,800. The estimated project cost is $560,000. And so the engineering services for the projects is 8% of the actual project cost plus $2,000 for electrical design of the site lighting for the project. And we do have staff here to answer any questions you may have.
Same engineer? You all feel
No
good with
issues
him?
with him, right?
So-
No, sir.
No issue. You didn't lose 25 or 30 parking spots at Silva Elementary School.
No, sir, I believe the adjustment after the layout was, I want to say it was 2 parking stalls or something.
How many?
like that. It was pretty close, about 2 or so, something like that.
2 parking
But
stalls.
I'll have to check.
Well, the principal's here, I believe, no? Is she here? Silva principal?
Ms. Gonzalez?
Do you remember if you lost parking, was it Silva or Gonzalez?
It was Gonzalez.
It was Gonzalez, right? I'm sorry.
It was Gonzalez.
Yeah.
She's not here today.
Yes. But I can check and confirm.
I'll move to approve.
We have a motion by Dr. Jaime. Do I have a second? Motion? Any other second motion? Nope. Motion dies. All right.
I don't mind seconding the motion. It's just, we approved him a contract a few items ago, but I think there seems to be some missing information that's making me wonder if we should continue to give contracts. I mean, if everything is great, everything checks out, I have no problem awarding this contract, but
See, what
I'm in
happened
the
here is
dark
that,
here with what's going on.
what would happen is that we're getting the construction before we hire the architects or the engineers. And in reality, we should be hiring the engineers. In other words, the order should be the architect, engineers, then the construction. So that is why this one turned out like this.
The way we have the agenda items, we're supposed to select first the method of construction before we select an engineer and architect. Because let's say we go with design build, we don't need an architect or engineer. You get a design build team that has architects, engineers, and general contractors. So you select the method of construction. At that time, afterward, you go compare proposals, then you get an architect or an engineer.
So what happens if the board does not approve the engineer you chose, they chose? Do they bring another one forward, or?
The engineer? Oh,
Yeah, for the engineer, they can recommend it. You all can make a selection. You can ask for resumes, you can ask for RFQ, you can.
If you like that, we
For
can do that.
professional service, there's no, you can't base the selection on pricing.
Right.
It has to be
Right.
based on demonstrated
competence and
competence,
qualifications.
and so,
I trust you guys have done your homework, you know. I'm just an eye doctor here. I mean, you guys know, you guys deal with engineers all the time, so, you know, if that's who you recommend, that's who I would go with.
Well, I know that, Andres, you remember, and Americo, you remember, the parking lot had problems, you know, and we lost, I know you're saying it's only 2, but that's probably due to the fact that you made some other parking lots narrower, parking spaces narrower. So you gained some, but yet it didn't work the way the plans were drawn. Is that correct? Am I saying that correctly or not?
Yeah, so originally the stalls were angled, and the striping was done to where the stalls were less than 8 feet, which was the plan designed size of the stall. And so, after studying the dimensions of the parking lot, the way the contractor came in and constructed the parking lot, it was relayed out, the stalls were relayed out to where they were now vertical, if you will, entry point. And so, yeah, we did lose some stalls because of that relayout of the parking lot. And I'm saying too, but I may be wrong, so you need to double check that number.
Based on that, you know, and not being real sure about some of these things has me a little concerned, you know. I like that we get firm answers and that we know the direction we're taking without any consequences, and we know that there's been something, and you know that something wasn't right, and we need to know.
Yes, sir.
because we are following your recommendation. So I'm a
Coach,
little concerned about that.
Mr. Lopez, we have myself and Mr. Carrillo and Mr. Americo. We're a good team. We're not going to let you down. We're going to make sure this is done right, like all our facilities have been done.
So do you, I know we had a motion by Dr. Jaime, we didn't have a second. You want to table this item, or what do you want to do?
I can support that.
What's that, Dr.?
I can support it.
Okay.
So if you guys want to go and do it, then go ahead. I've not supported the other parts, for the simple reason that I know there was some big issues on that parking lot.
So motion died anyway, so do you all want to table it? Do you have a motion to table it, or what do you all want to do?
Yeah, we can table it. Make a motion to table the item.
Let's make sure that we're going to get what we're going to ask for.
So we have a motion by Mr. Lopez and a second by Coach Cuellar
Yes.
to table it?
Yeah, and if you can give us on the update, Doctor, what were the actual issues?
Yeah, we will go ahead and provide that information. The board update would have to.
Okay.
Before we
Yes,
vote,
Freddie.
I would just like to clarify that if we're tabling it for what purpose? Just to get more information on what happened at Gonzalez Elementary parking lot, see if there are any problems?
Correct.
Because if that's the case, then I guess there's a clear answer of what we're going to do at the next meeting.
Right.
That's what I'm concerned about.
Right. And it's like Dr. Jaime said, they're the experts, but if we need more information, we'll table it and bring it back in the next meeting. So
And I guess I'm along the same lines as Mr. Kennedy's indicating. So the direction to the administration then is to provide clarification on the issues that the district has had, and not necessarily to provide you with resumes or qualifications of other firms or even who does this kind of work, but just limit the tabling and the clarification to what's happened at the school district?
Correct.
Is that
Right, Mr. Lopez?
Correct.
Mr. Kennedy?
Okay, we're on the same page then.
Okay. So we have a motion to table by Mr. Lopez, second by Coach Cuellar. Any other discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
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 All opposed?
Aye.
Dr. Jaime. Okay. Item J, discussion and possible action for the board to consider approval to hire a consulting engineer firm to conduct a forensic evaluation of the foundation at A.N. Tony Rico Elementary School. Dr. Canales. Item J.
I need to pull, I don't have item J in front of me. Maybe in the stack, is it in the stack?
No, I don't think it's in here. I think it's.
Thank you, Mr. Sanchez. Okay, signs of foundation problems on the southwest side of the campus at Rico Elementary have been present for some time. Cracks on walls and the continued separation of expansion joints are a clear indication that there may be problems. Several assessments have been performed to determine the cause of the problem, so we do have a problem. However, none have provided the depth or study or have been performed in a forensic manner. A proposal has been obtained from Raba Kistner, Inc., a consulting engineering firm providing forensic engineering services to assess the condition of the foundation and identify the cause of the problem. The cost for the assessment of the foundation at Rico Elementary is $26,500. This company has done work for the district on past projects such as the structural assessment of the sports fields, lights poles at both high schools, and the geotechnical or soils and materials testing on several construction projects such as the scoreboard, the new band hall at Weslaco East High School, and athletic renovations project at both high schools. The experience with Raba Kistner has been positive, and so we are recommending, Board, that you consider approval of Raba Kistner, Inc., consulting engineering firm, to conduct a forensic evaluation of the foundation at A.N. Tony Rico Elementary School, subject to legal review of the proposal's terms and conditions if needed.
All right, another engineer.
For forensic evaluation.
All right.
Make a motion to approve.
A different engineer. Okay, we have a
Okay.
motion by Mr. Lopez. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
All right, we have a second by Mr. Kennedy to approve Raba Kistner engineer to conduct a forensic evaluation at a foundation at A.N. Tony Rico Elementary School. Any discussion?
Yes, I didn't see any budgetary proposals on the document that we received.
No, we don't know. They're gonna do the evaluation, and until we know what the problem is, we won't know.
Oh, what I mean is, or do we have the funds to pay for the forensic testing?
Yes, it's 26,500.
And
They're
it-
in the local construction fund.
Oh, okay, that's what I was
Yes,
looking
ma'am.
for. Okay.
I need that.
Any other questions?
Oh, it is there. Yes.
Okay. So we have a motion by Mr. Lopez, a second by Mr. Kennedy. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Item K, discussion and possible action for the board to consider approval of a procurement method of construction for the replacement of HVAC controls at Weslaco High School project. One, board determination of a procurement method of construction that will provide the best value to the district for the project. Number two, board determination to retain the authority to rank the proposals to be received or delegate their authority to the administration to rank the proposals. And number three, approval of a criteria and points to be used for ranking proposals. Dr. Canales.
The HVAC controls for the Weslaco East High School campus are obsolete and more difficult to maintain with time since parts have been discontinued. This has resulted in constant HVAC problems that affect the overall space of Weslaco East High School. The control systems is needed for replacement. The process to upgrade the controls was started over a year ago in efforts to correct existing problems. However, the focus was primarily on repairs and not a complete control systems replacement. We currently have HVAC control systems by Schneider Electric and Automated Logic in the district. Maintaining the number of control systems in the district to a minimum of 2 in our case, is advantageous because it allows for easier management and maintenance of the systems, as well as competitive bidding on future new campuses' construction or complete HVAC system replacements. The funds have been allocated as part of the 2017 maintenance tax note as the HVAC projects approved by the Facilities Committee and the Board. The estimated cost of the project ranges from $375,000 to $400,000. We do have a timetable that shows you I guess basically how long it's going to take to complete the HVAC controls replacement project. So, Board of Trustees, we are recommending that you approve procurement method of construction as a method that would provide the best value to the district for the replacement of HVAC controls at Weslaco East High School project. Administration recommends design-build method of construction. It's a two-step process. That the board makes a determination to retain its authority to rank the proposals or delegates that to administration, and that the board approves the criteria and points to be used for ranking the proposals.
I'll move to approve a design-build contract of method of procurement, as well as approve the criteria for selection and delegate the ranking to administration.
Okay.
Second.
Coach Cuellar? So we have a motion by Mr. Kennedy and a second by Coach Cuellar to use a design built and let the administration rank the proposals, and approval of the criteria points to be used for ranking the proposals by administration. Correct? Any discussion?
Is this the same ongoing issue we've been having with the HVAC, sir? Is this, or just?
It is high
more-
school, it's related, yes, sir.
It's related.
It's related to the controls. We have an obsolete system, and we've been trying to do our best to try to.
Just
keep it
repairing
going.
in the past?
We have quite a bit of issues with the system just shutting off after power outages, things of that nature. So our men have to go up there and get up to the roof and reset them, and so it's becoming more and more problematic.
Okay.
Any other comments? All right, so we have a motion by Mr. Kennedy, a second by Coach Cuellar. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Item L, discussion of possible action for the board to consider approval of a contract with PBK Architects to draw the plan and specifications, as well as to oversee the construction of the replacement of the Weslaco High School main gym's HVAC units and the upgrades to the practice gym HVAC units and the related roofing work needed for both projects. Dr. Canales.
Board of Trustees, in February 13, 2017, you approved the HVAC system upgrades district-wide project as part of the priority facilities projects for the district. The replacement of the Weslaco East High School main gym's HVAC units and the upgrades to the practice gym's HVAC units and the related roofing work needed for both projects is part of that project. On February 11, 2019, you approved to hire PBK Architects for the project. This item is for the board's approval to enter into contract with PBK for the project. Legal counsel has reviewed the contract terms and has made some final modifications that hadn't been incorporated into the contract. So, Board of Trustees, we're recommending that you consider approval of the contract with PBK Architects to design the plans and specs and oversee the construction of the replacement of the Weslaco ISD High School main gym's HVAC units and upgrades to the practice gym's HVAC units and the related roofing work needed for both projects, subject to a final review by our legal counsel.
Move to approve.
Second.
We have a motion by Dr. Jaime, a second by Mr. Kennedy, to approve the contract with PBK Architects to draw the plans and specifications, as well as to oversee the construction of the replacement of the Weslaco East High School main gym HVAC units and the upgrades to the practice gym HVAC units, and the related roofing work needed for both projects. Any other discussion?
Just how old are those units, the existing ones?
The original.
And it's a continuous having to go back and patchwork that thing, so.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, this is something that we've needed for a long time.
What was, 2000?
Six.
When did they build the?
Yeah, the campus was built 99.
99.
99.
Yeah, 2000.
Yeah.
So 20 years. Okay. Any other discussion? All right, so we have a motion by Dr. Jaime and a second by Mr. Kennedy. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Item M, discussion of possible action to terminate contract with GOERO International LLC with respect to roofing services pursuant to the contract terms, and to authorize administration to enter into a new contract with GOERO International LLC for only the following three projects: Memorial Elementary School, North Bridge Elementary School, and the Weslaco High School Transition Center. Dr. Canales.
Board of Trustees, going back to February 20th, 2017, you awarded GOERO International LLC, ERO Architects, to design the roofing improvements district-wide for 15 locations, roofs, which at the time were estimated to cost $1,600,000. The board hired ERO Architects to conduct a thorough, separate evaluation of the condition of the roofs. After ERO Architects conducted their evaluation, it concluded by them that the estimated cost for all the roofs was actually $13 million. At that time, administration had only allocated $2.2 million from the $17 million proceeds for the maintenance tax note loan for roof repairs. Administration ranked the roofs in repair priority order. According to ERO Architects, the estimate of $2.2 million could cover the cost of the following roofs: Airport Elementary, which has been done; Dr. Almeida-Cuevas Middle School Band Hall and Gymnasium, which have been done; B. Garza Middle School's Band Hall and Gym, completed; and Weslaco High School's Old Band Hall, also completed. On December 11th, 2017, after the administration recommendation, the board approved to modify the contract with ERO Architects for McAllen, Texas, for the design of roofing improvements district-wide to only the roofs mentioned in the paragraph above. A contract amendment was prepared by ERO Architects and reviewed by Weslaco ISD Legal Counsel and signed by administration. When the board awarded the roofing project to ERO Architects, the estimated cost of the 15 locations and roofs was, again, $1,600,000, but now we know the estimated cost was actually $13 million. So we had some questions. Would the board had awarded the roofs projects, all of them, to ERO Architects, or spread the award roofing projects to other architect firms? Currently, the district has funding for only 3 more roofing projects: Memorial Elementary School, Northbridge Elementary School, and Weslaco High School Transition Center, with an estimated cost of approximately $3,100,000 plus 6% for architect fees. With this in mind, administration recommends that the board considers approving to terminate the current contract with GOERO International LLC with respect to the roofing service pursuant to the contract terms, and to authorize administration to enter into a new contract with ERO for only the following 3 projects: Memorial Elementary School, Northbridge Elementary School, and Weslaco High School Transition Center. So that,
Because originally we had a certain amount that they had proposed, correct?
Well, what we thought was gonna cost us 1.6 million.
Okay.
So the board awarded it to them.
Okay, now that was for the design?
Yeah, that's what we thought was the cost of repairing the roofs.
The design.
For
You've already said
the
earlier
design
that
and the construction.
each roof costs,
Now we know.
Well,
1.6
you knew then,
million.
you knew then too.
No.
You know, how could you expect to
I did not.
replace 13 school roofs with $1.6 million?
When we looked at this, we were getting information for the bond in 2016. We had estimates of repairs. We were not looking at replacing the entire roof.
All right,
When we
so
hired ERO, they went to check the roofs and said, wait a minute, this roof is almost 30 years old, you need to replace the entire
from
roof.
what Dr. Canales just told me, we gave him a contract for $1.6 million to design and oversee the construction or the repairs on the roofs. Is that correct? Is that what you said, doctor, or not?
It says,
No.
well, but you have the book, but it says.
Yes, like I said, that was to design and repair, not to rebuild the whole roof. We didn't know all how much it entailed to repair the roofs. We thought it was minor repairs. I believe
he's
the
right
airport was
there.
like
Why don't you call,
$92,000.
The architects are right there, sitting right behind you.
Oh, that's fine.
You know, what? But that's what I'm trying to tell you, because what she just read to me says that they enter a contract
Mhm.
with ERO, they don't repair roofs. I
No,
guarantee you, they don't
No,
repair
no,
roofs.
no, That was not,
You know, they design and specifications and drawings
right,
for how to repair the roofs.
yeah.
You know, so then they gave you a bid of $1.6 million for their part of the work, which is in line, I would think, with all the school buildings that we have.
Yes, after they checked them.
And then you
That we
went
paid
back, and what
$20,000
happened is that
for.
you used that same bid to repair roofs. Am I correct in saying that?
Say that again?
The money that you've used already, that you had set aside for them,
Right.
you used that money to repair the roofs also.
Yes, the four schools
Four
that Dr.
schools.
Canales mentioned.
Okay, so, but yet they didn't give you a price to repair the roofs. They gave you a price to design the roofs.
Correct, correct.
And
Yeah.
now you wanna cancel their contract and make another one.
Yes,
Cancel
for
except
only
for
those
the
three
three
schools
roofs.
that are pending. We don't have money for the rest of the roofs.
No, and I understand that, but you
Right.
have money for the drawings, which is what you had already given them a contract for.
Yeah, and one of the points that
And
I
I don't know,
mentioned,
Ivan, have you checked into this?
Yeah, so my understanding is that the budgeted amount for replacement of the roofs was the amount that Andres
yeah, the
has
1.6 that we mentioned.
I'm trying to pull up the
Yeah.
original contract. And so that was clearly right, not going to be the case shortly after
Of
the
course not. I mean,
contract was awarded.
as a matter of fact, I don't believe that ERO gave you a price for replacing roofs.
No. When we came to the board, we had all the facility needs. We went through them with the facilities committee. We ranked them in order. We presented them to the board. The board looked at them and said, okay. And then we had a request for qualifications for architects. We had 10 companies of architects. The board selected the top 5. Then at one of the meetings, the board says, okay, we're going to give the roofs to ERO, the new
Right.
high school to Rudy Gomez, the facility renovations and athletics to PVK. The board started distributing
I
them
remember.
based on the amount we had. So they got the manhole and the roofing, and 2 companies got something real close, Rudy Gomez a little bit less, and the other 2 companies got a smaller amount. One of the points I was saying is, if the board had known that the roofs were going to be 16 million or 30 million, whatever they were, would they have said, give half of the roofs to PRO, half to PVK, or half to Rudy Gomez, something like that?
So right now, we have money available for 3 roofs.
For 3 projects, yes, sir.
So,
And
so
we do have
ERO was hired to assess the roofs.
Yeah.
And instead of, it coming out to 1.6, they estimated at 13 million.
Yes.
But
yeah.
they got paid for that assessment, or they
Yeah,
got
we
paid
paid
for their work.
$20,000
So
for
it's
that.
not like, we're not paying them, by breaking this contract.
No, after the board selected them, we wanted to make sure that what we needed, because we thought it was going to cost us about $90-some thousand for our airport. We were doing some repair work, not replace the roof. When they went in, they said, well, you need to replace the school's almost 30 years old.
But they got paid for their work.
Correct.
Yeah, no, that was not the question, yes.
What I understood back at that time, when we gave them those jobs, that we're gonna start repairing roofs as you had money. And they were gonna start doing drawings as the money, as we had funds available. So the only misunderstanding that I think that we have here is that the $1.6 million that they gave you a price on, which I'm not looking at I haven't seen their contract at
No,
all.
they didn't.
It-
We offered the amount. That's the amount we thought it was going to be.
That's what you
That's how
thought.
much we budgeted.
When we awarded
Okay,
ERO.
so what is their contract with us? Is it to do all the drawings for all the schools
Well,
already?
With the first contract we did, had locations, like I said, 15 locations, and an estimated cost of $1.6 million. That's all we knew, so the board awarded it to them. When they went to check them, they said, well, it's going to be $13 million. So we said, well, how much, since we don't have enough money, we moved money around, and we were able to come up with $2.2 million out of the maintenance tax note loan. So Medico, Mr. Castillo, Sergio, I think, was involved with it at the time. They prioritized the roofs, and they said, these are the 4 that are most pressing. So, and ERO said, yeah, we can do those 4 projects with the 2.2. So at that time, we switched to that.
Okay. And now you want to terminate that contract?
Except for the
3 projects.
the 3 projects for right now.
Yeah, to do a new contract for those
Is
3
there any,
projects.
I mean, we're in a contract.
I can talk to you all about that in the executive session, if you want to ask about
Yeah.
legalities with the
I
contract.
want to ask about that. Only because they're under contract. Okay. So we table it for now and then come back afterwards?
Yeah, I mean, if you want to get some legal advice on.
Oh, yeah, that's
the
it.
question on that.
Okay?
Yeah.
Since it is the item before you go into closed session, you may want to just consider revisiting
When we come
item
back.
M after the closed session and go.
Do I have to have a motion to table it, Mr. Perez?
Or you could just change the order of the day and revisit it after the,
Yeah.
instead of tabling it.
Okay, so we'll revisit
Make
it
a
after
motion to change
executive
order
session.
today. Do we need a motion or not?
You don't.
No, we don't need a
Just
motion.
come back and revisit it M after executive session.
Correct. All right, it is 8 o'clock, and we're going to close meeting to discuss the following. Personal matters, employment of personnel, resignations, deliberation regarding the appointment, employment evaluation, reassignment duties. B, deliberation regarding real property. C, consultation with attorney regarding pending or contemplation litigation. Can I have your attention, please? Mr. Rojas? And consultation with attorney regarding pending or contemplated litigation, settlement offer, a matter in which the duty of the attorney to the Weslaco ISD under Texas disciplinary rules of professional conduct of the State Bar of Texas clearly conflicts with Chapter 551 of Texas Government Code. So it is 8 o'clock, and we're going into closed meeting. We reconvene in open meeting. It is 9:40. Mr. Pettis, we go back to revisit item M first?
Yes.
Okay. Item M, discussion and possible action to terminate contract with GOERO International LLC with respect to roofing services pursuant to the contract terms and to authorize administration to enter into a new contract with GOERO International LLC for the following 3 projects: Memorial Elementary School, North Bridge Elementary School, and Weslaco High School Transition Center.
I move to authorize the administration to direct GOERO International LLC to proceed with roofing work under the existing contract for Memorial Elementary School, North Bridge Elementary School, and the Weslaco High School Transition Center.
Second.
So we have a motion by Mr. Kennedy and a second by Coach Cuellar. Any discussion? No? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. All right, let's see, possible action if necessary on items discussed in closed meeting. Item number 1, discussion and possible action on new employment.
Board of Trustees, we recommend that you approve the recommendation of the contract for certified professional personnel as discussed in closed session.
So moved.
We have a motion by Dr. Jaime.
Second it.
Coach Cuellar? We have a motion
Mo.
by
Is Mo.
Mo? Sounded like Coach. By Mr.
On the
Lopez.
same side.
On items discussed and possible action on new employment. Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
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 All opposed? Motion carries. Item number 2, discussion of possible action on resignations. No action, right?
No, you do need to
Do
take
have
some action.
So,
Okay.
Board of Trustees recommend that you approve the resignation/retirements of certified professional personnel as discussed in closed session.
So move.
Second.
We have a motion by Mr. Lopez and a second by Coach Cuellar on resignations. Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Item number 3, discussion and possible action on acquisition of real property.
No action.
No, I move to authorize administration to proceed to discuss in closed session.
Second.
So we have a motion by Mr. Kennedy, a second by Dr. Jaime. As discussed in closed session, correct?
That's correct.
Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
And there is an action item under consultation with attorney regarding pending or contemplated litigation.
So, item C, consultation with attorney regarding pending or contemplated litigation.
Mr. President, I move to authorize the superintendent and board president to resolve the potential litigation matter as discussed in closed meeting.
Second.
We have a motion by Mr. Kennedy and a second by Dr. Jaime to proceed as discussed in the executive session, correct?
Yes.
Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Adjournment?
So move.
It is